It's been a wild and wacky day. Just non-stop stuff has been happening today. Grandpa did get out to mow today, which I'm glad he did now because there's a storm that's moved in. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my mowing done in the morning. I hope to, but this weather is just nonsense. Then tonight, after we got home from eating out, that's weird, my phone just went off. I hope it's not another situation like what happened. Let me tell you. Um, we went out to eat and came home. Phone rang. I'm watching SmackDown, so I'm halfway, on the phone, not and thinking it's my mom. And so I pick it up and go, hello, halfway out of it. And this gentleman on the other end goes, Heidi? I said, no, my name's not Heidi. My name's Donna. No, you're Heidi. No, I'm Donna. Now, Heidi, quit this nonsense. Your mom is out here at Sarah Bush in the ER. We transported her out here just fine. Come and get your mama. I'm thinking to myself, did I hit my head? Did I have amnesia during this process? So I'm starting to question if my name is really Donna. So then I'm like, no, this is Donna. And, it's starting to get irritated to me now on my nerves, which I'm sometimes a patient person, but then, a person's patience can only last so long before they blow a cork. So I said, no, this is Donna. And he goes, well, isn't this, now I know what I dialed. He goes, it was 217-234-4331. I said, this number is 4330. I don't know what's going on with his phone. And he comes back with, oh, well, isn't that funny? Well, you have a good day, Heidi, and talk to you later. And then I shout at the phone when I hear dial tone, I'm not Heidi. So then I call my mother just to make sure that my name hasn't changed, in the past 24 hours, or I haven't had some sort of head injury, because this is kind of weird. Because after I got off well, wait a minute, I need to back up. I called out the number. It went back to Sarah Bush, all right, but the emergency room ER. She goes, honey, no, I didn't call you and nobody else called you. It must have been an emergency technician. And I'm like, you're kidding, right? I mean, why would they call the house and insist that they had Heidi when I'm clearly not Heidi? She goes, that's a really good question for them to answer, but I really don't even know who called you. So it will forever be a mystery of who Heidi is. I just hope she made it out in time to pick up her mama from the hospital. Called my mom, and yes, she told me she was fine and not at Sarah Bush, and that my name was still Donna, so I felt confident in knowing that my name was Donna now, so at least I did know that much. Let's do 20 questions. This is question and answer 57 before I go work out. And yes, I am working out tonight because I have tomorrow off. That I do know. What is your favorite day of the year? And what is your least favorite day? My favorite day of the year. It used to be Halloween because I got in costume. And I always said if I had a child, I would get in costume with them on Halloween. And we would have so much fun. Not saying that that isn't going to happen now if I'm blessed later on in life. Just saying that right now it hasn't happened. And it's turned into my least favorite day because I see all these parents taking their kids and I want to be a parent too. My most favorite day of the year would have to be, I have several actually, celebrating other people's birthdays. Because that just means you take time out of your schedule to show people how much they mean to you, how much you care for them, more than anything else in this world. And for those who are related to Grandpa and I, and didn't send a card, didn't make a phone call, didn't make a pit stop during his birthday, I'm keeping track. Let's see here. Number 2. If you could get a one-of-a-kind outfit made just for you, which designer would you want to create it? I always loved like the Patty Loveless outfits that she had on, and I think Manuel used to design her outfits. I would love to have a Manuel outfit that would just bring out all the qualities I have to offer, which isn't much left, but I would love that for sure. If your favorite musician pulled you on stage at a concert, Would you be psyched or quote unquote go psycho? You can't really say till you're in that position. I always believe that. But I have been pulled on stage a few times. Usually I'm just really quiet and shy and like a church mouse. But since I've gotten my YouTube channel, I would have to say I probably would be like, give me that microphone now. So just a little bit more outgoing, not psycho, but a little bit more outgoing than what I've been in the past. Would your friends consider you a spotlight stealer or a wallflower? I'm more of it depends on who I'm with and the company that I'm with. If I'm with people that I feel comfortable around, they might consider me a spotlight stealer. If I'm in an unfamiliar environment or people that I don't feel comfortable around, I'm probably more like a wallflower. When someone cuts you off on the road, do you express your thanks with a sign language or four-letter word? It takes a lot to get me to do that, but I would say I usually go, you wacky fool, or something like that. And I don't do sign language like that because to me, that's just bad manners, bad karma on my part, reacting on the person who did that to me. So therefore, to be a better person, I rise above and I may go, you need manners, or something like that. But I won't do the sign language and shout obscenities. What karaoke song lets you channel your inner bombshell self? I have a lot of different songs and a lot of different times. It's always like that song Trisha Yearwood said, the song Remembers When. I can recall different songs throughout my life that at that exact moment what was going on in my life. But to sing, for some reason, I will go back to my favorites that I sung as a child with the old hairbrush. And there's, well, you're nobody called today. She hung up when I asked her name. Well, I wonder, does she think she's being clever? And of course, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes, don't it make my brown eyes blue? And if you go way back in the history books, and I'm always singing songs to salute my family members, whether it's my grandparents or my nieces, to pieces. There's been songs that I've sung in the past, like Kelly Pickler's Red High Heels. I've sung once a day, all day long, and once a night, from dusk till dawn. And of course, Patsy. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. So I guess it just depends on my mood. Okay. If life had a fast forward, quote unquote, or a rewind, quote unquote, button, at what age would you press play? The past few years when Grandma was sick, I wouldn't want to relive those moments. But the good times, I'd like to press play on those. I would like to recall the many birthday parties, to the many moments in my life from graduating high school, which I was glad to get out of there, to graduating college, to every momentous occasion that I had in my work eras, whether it was Walmart or my telephone operator career, because she was so proud that we had the same career. I would like to replay some of those moments. I would like to replay some of the meals that we had at Cracker Barrel. Po folks, just saying, you don't realize how important it is until you don't have those moments anymore. What is the best way to apologize to someone, and does it always work? 2 words is the hardest words for me to say. It's I'm sorry, because I'm stubborn and I'm prideful. I tried last night to apologize the best way I could. Has it worked? I don't know. I know the person that I wanted it to affect used to tell me that he didn't watch YouTube. So I don't know if he has or not, but that apology was meant for him. And I pray that it works. And I'm not saying that I'm always right. I'm not saying that everything I did was right. But maybe I did those things to get attention, his attention, back on me, because I felt like I had lost everything. And when you feel like the chips are down and working against you, you know, yes, I may have made a nickname up like CB to discuss that, but that was it was a nickname to hopefully take my verbal skillet over the back of the head and be like, by God, give us a chance. Don't just quit because of some nonsense. Don't just walk away at the first sign of trouble, because that's not the man that I know you are. But I've done everything I can, and will it work? Who knows? If you could reconstruct yourself using celebrity parts, how would you piece yourself together as a puzzle? I would take Reese Witherspoon's amazing hair and Jennifer Aniston's amazing face. I'm okay with this, actually. But my stomach and my legs and my thighs and my arms I would steal those away from Cindy Busby, the Hallmark Channel. I think that she, during the Unleashing Mr. Darcy and the Marry and Mr. Darcy movies, she's got like the ideal figure, and I wish I had that, and it wasn't this figure that I have of polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I just feel like I'm the poster child for that, trust me. But yeah, I would love to have that figure. At what age would you let your son or daughter go out dancing with friends, his or her friends, and without a chaperone? You know, I'm probably going to be an overprotective mom, so it would probably be at least, 17, 18, at least. Let's see. Do you prefer stability or spontaneity? I think a little bit of both. So you have spice in life, but yet you have security, knowing that, things aren't going to go AWOL and then he just leaves, up and leaves. I think that I have that insecurity because of my dad and the way he left my mom. And, that's probably something I'll have for the rest of my life. It's probably one of the biggest reasons that I'm insecure when it comes to relationships, because, a girl always looks at her father supposedly first. At least that's what somebody told me once, as the figure that they want to emulate in their life. Well, my dad ran away when the going got tough. My dad couldn't handle day-to-day life anymore. And therefore he looked for an easy way out and went to an easy woman where he could start over easily. And for that I will always disrespect him. The man that I emulate, that I want my man to be like, is my grandpa. Where people like my grandma would tell him, go to hell. And he'd say, okay, I'm packing up and we're going with you. And then there was not only that, but years later when Mike and my mom got together, and, it took me a while to accept that, because everybody, is not always gung-ho at first. At least I wasn't. I regret that in some ways, but in some ways, there was a lot of history between my mom and me too, so we had to get through that to get to the good times, and I'm not saying we'll ever be completely through the history because that's just the way families work, at least ours, but I'm just saying you regret not getting along a little bit sooner. Maybe you would have had better years to remember upon, but there were some good years with Mike. I mean, he went up and got my dog with my grandpa at Bloomington at the Sheltie Rescue one night because I had to have a Sheltie. I always wanted a Sheltie, and I had one. And he got the dog. They paid my $108. I gave them $180 to pay, and they paid it for me. And Kobe was the light of my life for many, many years. And I just believe that all in all, you have to have a little bit of both of those things in life, spontaneity and stability, in order to make a good relationship work. Would you rather catch a sunrise or a sunset? Where was the most magical one you've ever seen? To me, it's the same thing every day. We always get to have a sunrise and a sunset, good Lord willing. I have seen both in my lifetime. Magical, I don't know if it's quote unquote magical. I mean, it happens, So I don't think that there's been one magical yet in my life. If I ever have one that's magical, I'll let you know. Next month, you are gracing the cover of a magazine. Boy, do I wish. Which magazine and what are you famous for? I got something funny to tell you. A long time ago for April Fool's Day, I did grace the cover of a magazine. And that's one of 2 magazine covers that I did because Walgreens used to let us do that, and I miss doing that now. But as it says on this cover, it says, who's hot and who's not. So I guess that's what I would be in the cover for the magazine for. What 3 elements make a happy life? Faith, hope, and love. Without those, you have nothing. And the Bible teaches us that. You are just about to open the 10th store in a franchise that you conceived. What is the name of this new retail empire, and what do you sell? To me, that's the whole problem with the world today. We've got too many big retail empires trying to keep everything new and fresh and everything. To me, I love going to Goodwill and doing thrift store shopping. Sometimes you can find brand new items in those stores that people have brought, and you buy them at a cheap price or a price that's reasonable. And I would think it would be something like that. I would like to do a retail store where prices were low and reasonable, but good quality stuff. What is your favorite thing that doesn't cost a cent? As you grow older in life, you realize that the time clock runs the other way, proverbial way. And in those times of sand through the hourglass, it just does not go as slow as it used to. And you've got to make the most of every moment while people are here. I cannot say that enough. So if there's somebody that you may have forgotten on Father's Day or a birthday, it's not the person that you've hurt, obviously, that person, yes, by not remembering them. But ultimately, you hurt yourself. And in the long run, you know who's keeping score? The man upstairs. And let me tell you something. You can go to church on Sunday, but you going out on Saturday night, getting drunk off your ass, not knowing anything, the next day, and then like on Sunday, remembering that you need to go to church to repent for all of your sins that you committed that weekend? Seems to me like that there should be a church for sinners who can't remember their family, step or otherwise. Okay. It's all about what is your essential quote-unquote me time ritual. last night I said I was going to work out. I didn't get to because of the time constraint, and I knew I had to work the next day, and I was really, really tired. But tonight I am wound up like an 8-day clock, especially after the whole Heidi thing. So what I'm going to do is, after this video, I'm going to go downstairs definitely tonight and work out. Okay. What article of clothing makes you feel 10 degrees hotter the minute you put it on? This tank top. Out of all my tank tops, it's got this like little purple here. I call it purple. Some people would say navy blue. And then it's got this deeper blue. And I love this tank top, so it would be this tank top. On which show would you appear as a guest judge? Dancing with the Stars, American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance. Honestly, I really don't watch any of those shows. But if I had to choose one, I'm probably going to go with American Idol, because I would be a fair and balanced judge. What age-defying advice do you live by? Ha! This is a good one. Make each moment count. And I'll tell you why. If you would have told me a year ago that right now, at June 25th, 2019, my stepdad was not going to be around and that my grandma was not going to be around, I would have told you were crazy. I would have looked at you and said, you're crazy. If you would have told me that Beth Chapman was not, going to be in a medically induced coma, I would have told you were crazy. We can't plan our lives every day, but we can make time for people who matter in our lives every day. I tried to do that to the best of my ability. Have I made mistakes? Yes. Would I admit to those mistakes? Yes. And would I ever apologize face to face for those mistakes if I had the chance? Yes. A lot of people would say no to that. But you got to take into account what matters. And if it matters of who's right and who's wrong, then you're not living with the right purpose. Because you have to have forgiveness in your heart. You may not forget some things, but you have to have forgiveness in your heart. And let me tell you something. Those holier than thou attitudes that people think they're better than everybody, we all put our pants on the same way. We all get our shirts on the same way. Whether we throw them on over our top or button them down the middle, we throw them on the same way. No one is better than anybody else. And it's if you have money, so what? Are you going to go to heaven with that money in your casket? You are not. I tell you this now for a reason. I tell you this because I want you to regret some of the decisions you made in your life if it was focused on money alone. Money does not buy back time, does it? Money does not make things right. I can't say that enough. Now I'm going to sign off here and go downstairs and work out. God bless each and every one of you.